Welcome to another episode of Sitar Gurukul. On the last episode, we have learned how to play a very complex palta, a more advanced palta. In today's episode, we are going to learn a bit of Alaap. Now, what is Alaap? Alaap is the exploration of a rag without the introduction of rhythm. So it's that first portion that you often hear in vocal music and in instrumental music that seems to move with the wind. It has no specific destination, at least it seems like that. And it's where artists use and fuse all the available notes, of course, keeping the framework or the chalan in mind. So that is where we, or musicians, they explore the possibilities of a rag and they unravel bit by bit of it. So Alaap is something that is taught usually at a much later stage, but I am not really teaching Alaap, I'm rather giving you an idea, because from personal experience, sometimes practicing can get you carried away into playing games, checking your phone for messages and notifications. But here I'm going to teach you just a basic framework of yaman Alaap, so that you be in touch. And this is not really a practice that you must do, rather it is something that you could just play when you're in a more leisurely kind of mood and you just need something to play on the sitar. So I'm going to give you, it doesn't have to be perfect, it's rather very simple. I'm going to, over the next two episodes, I'm going to teach you three portions of simple Alaap that is going to set your mood for yaman, and you're going to be able to relate more. So usually, Imdad Khani sitar players, they start their yaman Alaap like this. So as you can see, there were a few complex moves over here and there, but I'm going to teach you a simple version of this. So the first thing that you need to do is, this is called the chair. Chair quite literally translates to tease. So you're teasing the sitar, but most importantly, you're teasing the sa. So you're going to play a very simple technique that is going to take some time for you to get used to. So a solid stroke on your right hand, 2 strokes, and you play da da, so da ni sa. So there are 3 notes, but you're doing it in 2 strokes. So you're going to play one more time. There was a dramatic pause between the chikadi and the stroke, if you notice. Sorry. So what I did over here is I stroked on the dha first, then I kind of used that sustain to linger to knee, and then I used that sustain over that new sustain that I created by stroking on the knee to sa. So if I slow it down, really slow it down, so it becomes one more time. So first and foremost, what you really need to know here is you need to make that mental map I keep talking about whenever I'm talking about meers, that you need to figure out where exactly the knee and the sa is if you pull from dha. So you're going to play dha, da. So here is where listening becomes very, very important. This phrase, it's very important that you understand the drama behind it and know how to reproduce it. But you can only do so if you have that concept somewhere in your heart. So it's not something you have to memorize the timing. It's something you have to feel. So that gap is going to be dependent on the kind of sitar you have, the kind of sustain or resonance your sitar gives you, and also the kind of strokes that you're being able to pull off. So the timing may change from person to person. So And when your first line is done, you're going to play. This is a bit difficult, so it's da. So four lines. The first is dani sa, dani sa. The second line is dani re ni da, dani re. So you play dani re and then straight back a dive to dha. And then ni sa da and dani sa. So four lines of Alaap. The first and the fourth line is going to be the same. Second line, third line, dani sa. So I'm kind of rushing a bit because it doesn't have to be perfect at the moment, nor do you have to rush to learn it. The very goal of teaching you this is to, first, so that you keep on practicing whatever we have learned, especially the composition and the tans. So you're not supposed to kind of quit or pay less attention to that and move on to something else that is going to require you to do a lot of practice. Rather, you can go back to practicing that and keep updating the speed to, if you're at 100, do 120. If you're at 120, do 150 or 130. So the goal of this is to just have a bit of an idea of how Alaap may start like, but still your main practice is still the practices that we have done in the previous episodes. So on the next two lessons, I'm going to give you two more Alaap lines from here and from at the very end, the very bottom or the highest notes, the sa. And then we are going to bring back ourselves for more tan practice. So that's it for today. If you have any confusions, just write to me on my email. See you on the next class. Till then, practice hard. Take care. Bye-bye.